Okay, so today we're going to learn about the difference of cubes. And the difference of cubes, or the sum of cubes, are based off of these two formulas. That if you have some term that's squared, or some term that's cubed, and you have another term that's cubed, and you subtract them, it will always factor into this. And if you have a term that is cubed, and another term that is cubed, it will always factor into something like this. Every single time. Let's see how this works. And then we'll prove it in a little bit. So, let's say I've been given this. And I want to factor it. And yesterday we couldn't, but today we can using this. Because I know that x cubed is a cube term. And I know that 8 is a cube term, because if you take the cube root of 8, you get 2. So 8 is really 2 cubed. So now we're going to put it into the formula and factor it. So my a term in this case would be x, and my b term in this case would be 2. So if we fill this in, a, so a minus b, so a minus 2. Then a squared, well that would be x squared, minus, or plus, b times x, which would be 2 times x, plus b squared, which would be 4. And we've just factored this. This would be my factored terms. Now again, we could try to look at this and see if this thing factors, but there really isn't anything that will multiply together to become 4, but add together to be this. So there's nothing that timeses and adds. So this is my final answer. Let's try to do one more of these things. Okay, so this time we have a sum of cubes, and I know that x cubed is just x cubed. And this really would be, like if you take its cube root, would be 5 cubed. So again, we're going to plug everything in like we did last time. So we know that this would become x plus 5, because this is going to match up with my a, and this is going to match up with my b. And then we're going to have x squared minus 5x, because it is minus b, which b is 5 again, and x is a, and then say plus b squared, and b is 5, so that would be 25. And this would be my final answer. Again, we can check if it factors, but nothing's going to multiply together to give me 5, but add together to give me this, so this would be, again, your final answer. Let's try one more of these kind of problems, and then we're going to try to prove to make sure this works every single time. Okay, again, we're going to look at this and see if what it is. And this is a difference of cubes, again, because I know that 27, if I took its cube root, would become 3 cubed. And if we did this, we kind of have to do this in conjunction. So 64 would be 4 cubed. And this would be x cubed. So our term this time, or our b term, is actually going to be 4x. So our b this time is going to be 4x, and our a is just going to be this 3. And again, we're going to use the formula that we have. So this thing would come down to, well, a, which is 3, minus 4x, because that's our b. A squared is 9, plus b times a, well, that would be 4 times 3, which would be 12x, plus, then we would get b squared, which would be 16x squared. And again, this would be our final answer. Okay, so the big thing behind all of this is you want to keep trying to, you want to figure out what your A term is, you want to figure out your B term, and then you want to plug it into the formula. Let's check to make sure this always works. So here's our formula, and how we're going to check to make sure that this really is this is we're going to FOIL. So if you FOIL this thing out, you're going to get A cubed plus BA squared plus B squared A. And let's FOIL this other side. So this would give me negative BA squared, negative B squared A, minus B cubed. And hopefully, as you can see, since I offset these a little bit, this would actually cancel with this would cancel with this, so A cubed plus B cubed. So as you can see, like, this thing is going to work every single time for us. And if we did that with the sum of cubes, it would produce the exact same thing. So just make sure you know how to use the different formulas, make sure you know how to plug the different things in, so that you're ready for the quiz at the end of class.